Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. These are the mods and updates for Monday the 12th of June. Apologies for the delay. I set all of this up last night to start recording. I got to one particular mod and was struggling with it. As it turned out, there was quite a simple solution or a reason why I couldn't get it to work. I will explain when I get to it. As far as I can tell, that it's why, but you'll see. Updates for the 12th then. Monet Farms Map by Mapper's Paradise has had an update. It does require a new save game. It has had the new crops added, flax, lentils and peas, with the swathing add-on as well. A few other changes, but that's the main change on that one. The map Neverland has had an update by Rasterman, but that doesn't say whether it needs a new save game or not. The Lizard 200 by Vinco Mods, the TLX 1982 Special by A2 Studio, the Fent 300 Vario Gen 4 by SleutjesModding, and the Mac Superliner X by 82 Studio. That one is quite important and it will become more apparent later on. In front of me though we have got the Farm Factory by OmaTana. Now this is a pack for all intents and purposes. It's 9.06 megabytes download. We've got two buildings. We've got a buy point and we've got two sell points. We've got this one here and we've got this one on the floor just here. So what do they include? Well, we're going to build mode and we go to our productions. We've got the farm factory and we've got the farm supply factory. So the farm factory produces pretty much every in-game production you can think of. From reading the description, it also says because the recipes and the cycles per month, they run 3 times faster than your standard average productions. And then next to that we've got the farm supply factory. That will produce all of the things you require as products to use on the farm. So like total mix ration, pig food, hay, silage, all those kind of things, mineral feeds, you can do a whole lot of stuff. So these are a kind of amalgamation of a few of OmaTana's mods that have come out in the past. Now what I haven't done with these, I haven't filled them up because you'll see in a minute. I started doing it and I was about 40 minutes in and thought, okay, this is going to take me forever. I'm not going to get them all filled up, so I'll explain. If we go to sell points, we've got the farm factory market stall, which we've just seen. The market stalls were... The market stall's 13, and that one there, the farm factory just selling station plain, was 1 slot. And if we go to containers, under buildings, go to container, that one just there, the farm factory, that's a farm supply buying station. So it's pretty much like animal food, seed, fertilizer, lime, I think, is it potatoes and sugarcane as well, but kind of like a multi-fruit buying station basically. And that one is 4 slots and then it comes down to 1. So prices aren't too bad. The two production buildings are only 50 grand each, that's 1,000, and the two sell points are 500 each, so not too bad. If we come over here, putting in is done here, pallets will spawn here, manage production is here. So as you can see, cycles per month 2,400, 480, but the recipes are up a little bit, so it's a lot quicker. They don't run fast. As you can see to the right, I did start putting things in. Now, a few of them, as I started putting them in, were working out about 100,000 litres each when I got down to sorghum. When I did corn, I put 70,000 litres in, and it didn't come anywhere near up, so that's going to take a lot more. Milk was 100,000, but this side, you'll see all the stuff that can be put in because it runs everything. We can do all our flour, we can do bread cake, we can do sugar beet sugar, raisins, grape juice, the various different oils, cereals, butter, cheese, fabric, clothes, everything. But we've got French fries and premium potatoes in here as well, which can be done. So water and stuff needs to be added in as well, and you know it's a bit crazy. So what I was going to do, just because I put those in, I think I might put some water in as well. I'm going to turn that on, that on, that on, that on, and that on. So we should get some being produced. Now, can I do grape juice? What do I just need? I've got some grapes in there. Let's get some grape juice running as well. And then what we should see down here, the various different outputs. Which one of these was? Oh, yeah, there's a few here. which is an interesting one on the productions, that when you're making butter, you put milk in, you've got butter, but then pig food as a byproduct. Same with the cheese, we're getting pig food as a byproduct. Is that the way? I'm trying to think what it is. The same with doing French fries and premium potatoes, we've got pig food as a byproduct coming out as well. So there's a few, little changes, little tweaks. Sunflower oil, canola oil, olive oil, and again that'll be the husks and stuff left over from when the oil's been taken out. We're getting pig food from that as well, so pretty good. So that's the production chain side of things. If we then scroll down to the next building, which is the farm supply factory, then we're on to our other products. So we've got grass in, and we can make hay. Now that's not too bad. The recipe, it's a 1-to-1 ratio, but 3,000 and 3,000 out. So the recipe's quite high, which means production will be quite rapid. Total mix ration, 3 different sorts. So you've got a standard mix, I guess, with your hay, silage and straw. Again, 4,500 each of the first 2, then 4,000, 12,000 out, so pretty rapid. The second one just does hay and silage, which a lot of people prefer to do rather than doing straw as well. And the third one is the one that requires mineral feed as well, which I don't know, that's maybe a lot of people do, I don't know. Then we've got mineral feed, so you can actually produce your own mineral feed from lime or from stones. Grass silage, hay silage, chaff silage. Again, recipes are pretty high, so they're going to be pretty rapid. Straw silage. Then we've got silage digestate. So we can use our grass and water. We can produce silage and digestate as a byproduct. We've also got the same there with chaff. Then we can make seeds. Again, 3,000 to 3,000, pretty good. So wheat seeds, barley seeds, corn seeds. Now people often ask, does that produce different seeds? No, that just gives you seeds out. You can use wheat, you can use barley, you can use corn, and you will just get seeds. They're not separate seed types. Stone in, lime out with a bit of water. And we can make liquid fertilizer from digestate. That is a 10-to-1 ratio though. We go down from that. No, 10 to 1? Yeah. And then we've got digestate, solid fertilizer. So digestate and lime in, solid fertilizer out. Then we've got into our pig foods. So one that's more corn heavy, one that's more sorghum heavy, and one that's potato heavy. Pig food distributor. So once you've got that done, you can set that on, and that will distribute your pig food out to, if you've got your pig pens anywhere. So yeah, there's, like I say, there's a lot in there. I've got some wheat in there, so let's get some wheat and barley seeds going, for example. I'm trying to think what else I put in. Like I say, I started putting stuff in and just thought, these ones took a lot more as well. Like the chaff there, 300,000 litres, and it barely scratched the surface. That's going to take millions of litres, I would imagine. So, not that anything will be produced just yet, but this one in is done here, out, because most of the products you're going to be getting are things you're going to be wanting to put into trailers rather than on pallets, and your managed production is done there. Should we come across to that? Oh, there we go, seeds, 363. Yeah, so it's producing fairly quickly. Have we got anything out of here yet? Not yet. Flour and pig food and grape juice. Let's go at a fair pace. So there you go, yeah. There's a lot going on in that. And those 2 buildings, for all intents and purposes, will do everything on your farm. You could just place those 2, 100 grand, bang, place, and you can produce anything you want. Again, you don't have to if you don't want to. Just showing you what's here. That's the Farm Factory by OmaTana. Next, we've got this. This is pretty cool too. This is the coffee production. This by Dogface, 13.71 megabytes download. 3 things in this pack. We've got the greenhouses, because you can do this on any map now. Some maps you plant your coffee, harvest your coffee, and you can roast it at the roasters. This one gives you the ability to do this on any map you want. So we've got a large greenhouse which produces coffee. This requires water and liquid fertilizer, and this is fast as well. I skipped ahead to try and get a brighter day for doing a thumbnail. I skipped ahead, plus I needed some coffee bean raw, so I could put it into the roaster to make coffee beans roasted, so I can take the coffee beans roasted to our coffee shop to sell. I skipped through the night, and we have got tons of the stuff. I mean, absolutely loads of it. As you can see, coffee bean raw, 46,339 litres, plus all that's already stored up. And I put in 5 of them because I thought I didn't know how fast they were going to run. I'm going to need a load, and they're pretty rapid, I'm not going to lie. So the greenhouses are 13 slots, 10 grand each. the coffee roasting plant, Java Lava. So that's, I put these out because I wasn't sure what was going to happen here, but that's what they look like. Your coffee beans raw, and then when you put them in through the roaster, they come out on these pallets, lovely Java Lava pallets, and that's your coffee bean roasted. The coffee roasting facility is 26 slots, 80,000 to buy. This requires diesel. There we go. Requires diesel and coffee beans raw. But not a bad rate either, which is pretty good. I've still got some in there. But then we've got the sell point, which is your coffee shop, which is now that it's really nicely made. Look, got a drive-through down the side. And bringing your coffee beans roasted is done here. The sell point in the coffee shop is 28 slots and 55,000 to buy. I think that's a really cool addition. It's brilliant, it really is. And they're really well made. They look fantastic. So, you'll find them under build mode, under production. Is where the roasting factory is. Slot count will come down to 2. Like I said, 80 grand, but slot count will come down to 2. If we go to our greenhouses, they are... where is it? That one's just there. I've got quite a few different greenhouse mods in. There you go. Greenhouse large, slot count comes down to 10 grand each. Then we go to our sell points. Our coffee shop, slot count comes down to 2, 55 grand. So, what I'm going to do is show you the prices, because this is where things get a bit unusual. But it does give you a couple of options, I guess. If you want to go down a narrative, a storyline, and you're just doing it because you want to produce something else, to sell somewhere else, which is the whole point of a production chain. But the prices, I personally think, are the wrong way round. If we go into our menu, there we go, and let's scroll down. So I'm sitting on iron ore at the moment. Below that we've got coffee bean raw, then coffee bean roasted. Now my way of thinking would be coffee bean raw is worth less than coffee bean roasted, because you're roasting those beans, they've got more value than you sell them on. Coffee bean raw, if I sell those, 1,000 litres, 5,800, 5,700, I'm on normal economy. Coffee beans roasted are only, well, some are about 3,000, but half that? 2/3 of that? So it does beg the question, why go to all the bother of buying the roasting plant, roasting it all, then taking it to sell when they're worth more in that state, in this state, than they are in this state? Plus you've had to add diesel in as well. So it comes down to the fact that if you're doing it because you want to make money, you're better off just selling the raw ones. Let's grab a couple of pallets. Well, this depends on whether the sell point you've got over here takes them. I know most sell everything does. Actually, did it say if the coffee shop took them? No, the roasting factory, market stall. Oh yeah, I've got prices there. So let's go over to the market stall as part of the other production. That doesn't have this one and that one. So that's 2,000 litres of that. 11,575. Cha-ching! And the speed they run as well. Pretty cool. And if I grab 2 of these, like I say, if you're doing a storyline, and like I say, I like the concept of the production chains. I know not everyone's into them, and people just view it as now it's just a case of just moving pallets around all the time. You are still doing the farming to produce the stuff. Admittedly, greenhouses, all I'm doing is supplying water and liquid fertiliser on those, but you're still growing stuff in greenhouses. Yeah, it depends what route you want to go down, really. It's just something different to have, and I like this as an idea. 6,117. So, yeah, I don't know. I like the idea. I like the concept. I think it's brilliant. I just personally think the prices should be the other way around. That's all. They should just be swapped. So you're getting more value for putting the time and the effort in for roasting your coffee beans. But that's yeah. I like it. Coffee production by Dogface. Next, We've got all of these. This is the Lizard 8560 by R.Mihail, 27.38 megabytes download and 13 slots on console. A selection of trailers. It's, I suppose, technically a pack. It's one trailer, but various different options. We've got a bale trailer option, which looks like this. We've got a standard grain cart, grain size like this. We've got a grain cart, which has got an auger. We've got a slightly larger grain cart. And then we've got the silage option. The silage option will only take forage crops. It does take potato and sugar beet as well as sugar cane and wood chip and that kind of stuff. But grass, hay, straw, silage, total mix ration, but it won't take your crops. That's the forage one. So that's the silage option. Then we've got a couple of different sizes, and that's then we've got this auger option as well. What is nice with this pack as well, and we can block the front swivel axle. So if you find these a nuisance, if they're driving you insane, if we hook up like so, 15,400 for the standard, and go to that block trailer, locks that front axle. We can still pivot here. Oh, actually that's weird, it wasn't doing that yesterday. Ah, that's not what it is. Oh, okay. Wow. It makes it a little bit easier for parking, let's just say that, but I don't suppose that's supposed to be for travelling long distances. That's just for getting into parking bays through narrow gaps, back in through archways, doorways, that kind of stuff. We do have the option on this. Let's unblock that. We've got tip side left, tip side right, no tip side back on these. So we go tip side left. The tip side left and right is the same on each one. There we go. Disconnect that. I'll show you all going like so. The other ones was exactly the same. Actually, I will just hook up to these because my mind's blanked. Oh, well, actually, we'll have to look at the options anyway. 23,100 litres. That's the enlarged grain tank. I think it's 23,100 for the silage as well. Just double check that. Yeah, 23,100 for your forage option. And this one. All of them you can block that front axle to put it into position. So this one, we can do pipe out. There we go. Takes a little while. So if you're tipping seed into, or whatever you're tipping in, the auger at the end here runs right the way through the bottom of the trailer. So all the seed, gravity will push it down to the auger. So once we've done that, we've then got the option to adjust that manually. So you move that to whatever position you want it into, load it into, whatever you want to, or if you're unloading to a sell point or something like that, we can do that. If I do unload here, well, like I say, at a sell point, that will come up automatically to unload. Put that away manually. Actually, what I'm going to do, let's do pipe in. Yeah, I don't think that folds up itself. I think you have to do it regardless of what the trailer does. Yeah. So, under tools and trailers. Just there, 29,380 for the first one. Slot count comes down to 1. We've seen the options already, but bale trailer, grain body, loader with the auger, grain body larger, and silage body. Then we've got the option of wheel setup. We've got star, and star 2 changes the tread. We've got Eurodisc, Eurodisc 2, Eurodisc 3, back to star. Design colour changes the main body. I'm just going to change that to body for silage because the second design colour is if you've got the silage body on, you can change the top section of the silage body on that, and there's a license plate option as well. There you go. That's the Lizard 8560 by R.Mihail. Moving on, we've got this, the Lizard LHP Subsoiler by John Deere 2450. This is 1.53 megabytes download, 2 slots on console. You can have a 1.7 metre or a 3.2. I've gone for a 3.2. You'll find it under subsoilers, just there, 650. That's all, 80 horsepower required. Slot count comes down to 1 from 2. It's not high anyway. So you've got the 1.7 metre or the 3.2. 1.7 metre only requires 45 horsepower, so 45 or 80 horsepower. We can change the main colour to anything on that palette. So I always say subsoilers, generally speaking, will give you a ploughed state with a cultivated look. They don't always. Sometimes you get ploughed state and a ploughed look. Very straightforward, that one. The Lizard LHP Subsoiler by John Deere 2450. Nice animation on that. Lovely rich soil coming up. Look at that. Brilliant. Next, we've got this. This is the Golf Cart Hunter by SleutjesModding. 5.88 megabytes download and 5 slots on console. It's actually pretty cool looking. So, this you'll find under vehicles and cars. Just there, 6,750, 23 horsepower. Options on this, we've got standard wheel setup. That one. That one. Down to larger tyre size with that. Tyre claw. And back to standard. Plotting is your scheme. So I'm going to leave it on that for a moment. If we come down to main colour and change our main colours, that does the main colour. Then we've got awning colour, does that. Seat colour. Let's go with something we might want. Let's go for green, for example. Rim colour we can change. And then license plate option as well. But if we go back up to the top and we go to plotting, other than the standard one, which gives you option to change all the colours, we've then got the various different camos. And then back to standard again. I think I went with that one. Yeah. So then we've got bumper, original, or bumper front. That back section's always on there. We've got front deck, yes or no. Front glass, yes or no. Beacons, yes or no. And then the colours we've looked at already. Now, something I didn't check. Oh, it has got, yeah, look. Got a wind trope on it. That's pretty cool, isn't it? So if you're going uphill, you get stuck. I mean, I wouldn't use this necessarily for dragging trees around, but if you're going up a steep slope and you get stuck in the woodlands, you can winch yourself out. As you can see, tension straps on the front and rear anyway. So you've got a low one there as well. So if you want to put, I don't know what you've put in there, but a small log. I don't know. Some, I suppose for winching, you could do, couldn't you? You could put a log on there and strap it down. Anyway, hop in, start it up. Lights. That's a pretty good light on that actually. Tension straps on or off. Beacon. Now, the only other thing I will say, there's not a dashboard as such or of any description. So if you go first person, it's literally just a steering wheel and a pedal. It's electric. There's not a speedo or anything like that. But 29 mile an hour, and unlike some we've had that tend to, oh, I was just going to say that tend to have a topple over point. I suppose it has got one. But anyway, Golf Cart Hunter by SleutjesModding. Next. This is where things get a bit more interesting. I had some problems, I'm not going to lie. These are the TLX Detachable Towing Unit by 82 Studio and the TLX Service Pack. Technically two separate mods, but both by 82 Studio. So the Detachable Towing Unit is this here. 13.21 megabytes download, 2 slots on console. Now, this comes with the proviso. This will attach to, it says, any base game vehicle with a fifth wheel, is what it says. But, like I say, there is a proviso. Where are we? Right, the TLX DTU is compatible with any fifth wheel attachment, base game semi-trucks, modded trucks, and yes, also dolly, but please don't. So don't attach that to a dolly. That's the warning it's giving you. But any base game vehicle or modded vehicle with a fifth wheel. The proviso with that is, whatever base game vehicle you're going to be using, it needs to have a front trailer hitch. Like that. Just a hitch. Doesn't have to have a fifth wheel or anything like that. Not a fifth wheel, 3-point, just a trailer hitch. A lot of the base game models, if we go into here and we go to our trucks, they don't have a front trailer hitch. That one might. I'm just trying to think, what did I go for? Oh, I went for a couple of the Volvos. I tried those first. They don't have a front trailer hitch. The reason for that being, part of this pack also gives you this bull bar. Now, you might think, well, I don't want a bull bar on the front of mine. But you're going to need it, because this has an adjustable weight system in it. Once attached onto your vehicle, you can adjust the position of it. And then when you lift something up using this towing thing, the weight on the back of this will lift the front of your vehicle up, depending on what vehicle you're using. As the front starts to lift up, you can adjust the weight on this to bring those wheels back on the ground. So if you can't attach a front bull bar, you're not going to be able to tow, because it lifts the front of the vehicle up. I tried with the Volvo, and the whole front just came up off the ground, and there was no way to attach a weight to it. So just be aware of that. That's something you might want to know. So, where do we find said pieces of equipment? Under miscellaneous. Just there is the TLX DTU Bundle, 15 grand. What was it? That's interesting. 2 slots. I've got one and it stays at 2 slots. Okay. Well, standard configuration. Design 1, design 2. Then we've got standard. Design 1, design 2. Back again. If we go for that one, we've got that, that, or that. Now that is more for the look of it. That one doesn't have a capacity. The other one we're going to look at in a little while has a fuel capacity, so you can use it as a service truck in the field. That is more just for a look if you want to. Main colour, anything on this selection? A standard. Slightly more matte, I suppose. A satin. And then actually that one's not school bus aged. An aged look. Then extras, we change the colour, something stands out. Let's go with blue, for example. Oh, that's if you've gone for, sorry. It's because I came out of the menu. There we go. So your toolboxes and stuff, if you've got those on, or the side panels like that, that's what your extras are. So this way things get a little bit more fruity. Now this works in exactly the same way as that does in the other pack we're going to look at, the service pack. So whilst I will show you it opening and closing and stuff, it should work. It took me a little bit to get there, but what I'm going to do first is hook the weight on, because we're going to need it. Now there are some instructions that come with this, and you need to have a look at them. There's also a video in the mod hub you can have a look at. That's the website mod hub. Once you've attached that on, we do have the option on this to adjust it forwards, backwards, up and down. So depending on what vehicle you've put it on, to get a more realistic attachment, I guess, you can just attach it to a position you're happy with, that it's been bolted on the front and you're happy with that. We back up. Now this says it's compatible. Oh no, this one's compatible then with the fifth wheel. I went with this because it had a front hitch, that's all. There's no particular reason I went for this one. So okay. Let's go with, right, there we go. Unfold. You have to just press triangle till you get to the one that's got the options. Unfold does that. Then from there we have got our extension. Depending on how big the vehicle is or how far you want to extend it out, we can extend it out like that. We've then got up and down the whole unit like that, and then we've got adjustment that way as well. So let's get that right down to the ground, like so. Now this does also come with a winch, so if you've got the Platinum Expansion DLC, we've got a winch on it as well, so you can do winching if you want. Now this does say, under the instructions, so purchase the unit, attach it to the truck, unfold it, and it says it is mandatory to enter the vehicle to be towed first before activating the tension belts on the axle lift attachment. So this is where I had a couple of issues. So I've got into the vehicle that's going to be towed. I haven't got the engine on. You can if you want to. So what you want to do is line up as best you can. And I struggled to find the position. I think it should be directly under the axle. Now what we'll do is lift the whole thing up, and you'll see the front of the truck rising. Now because this is a fairly big old unit, it's not too bad. So we've raised up. I can tilt that as well if I want to, bring it up a little bit like that. But on the front, if you look at that bull bar, and this will be the same on the other one we look at, if I switch to, see that one? There we go, this option here, which puts me on the front bull bar. I've got that option or this option. This option, look at the bull bar, see that indicator? That indicator, as that's going up, the front of the truck's coming back down, so I'm increasing the weight on that. If I go to maximum, which is all the way down there, depending on the weight, you just do it till you balance it. Raise it and lower it until you're happy with the position it's in, and that will stop your front axle of your tow vehicle coming off the ground. Switch back to that. I'll lower that down a little bit, I think. Now, this is where we attach our tension belts. Now I had a... Is that attached or not? There we go. So now I've attached my tension belts, and now I'm towing. My wheels are sort of rolling. I can take that up higher if I want to. It gets a bit more unwieldy, just be careful how high you lift it. So we're towing. Happy days. That just fall off there. Oh. Yeah, we're still attached with the tension straps. But this does also have an option. If I switch over to that one there, top left, it says lower TLX DTU axle lift attachment. If I press that, this bit under here becomes, right under there, becomes flexible. It will move side to side. Now what I did find with that, whilst it does help for turning, if I do that now, so that now means when I turn, that, you see that adjustment? It is turning. Once I lifted that lorry off the ground, it became quite unstable. Again, just something to be aware of. So if I go back to, it's just a case of, like I say, finding the various different ones we want. That one, if I raise that up again. Oh, it's not too bad now. It just gives me the option for a bit more of an able steer. You can see the axle is locked, but I'm pivoting. That's the word I was looking for. It'll now allow me to pivot. If I go to that again and press circle, that locks that back in place. So I lose that pivot. So that's the first one. Now we move on to the other pack, the TLX Service Pack. Now this comes with 3 different options on it. It does come with a different bumper as well. This is 33.15 megabytes download. That one was 13.21 if I didn't say that. So we have got the Wreck-It Bundle, which is this, which is the whole Wreck-It back, which is rather cool. That drops down, does exactly the same thing. I don't think this has a winch though. That one has a winch, this doesn't. Now this will only work on certain vehicles, and this is where I had a problem. And I was getting frustrated. It was hot yesterday. We've been having quite hot weather in the UK, and we don't have aircon. Well, I haven't got aircon. And it was like 30 degrees. We had thunderstorms. Farm dog was under my desk all day, right by my feet. And I got to a point I was getting so stressed and wound up, and I thought, I need a breather. I've got to walk away. I couldn't work out why it wasn't working. I'll explain why in a moment. So we've got the Wreck-It. We've got the TLX service bed. The service bed has fuel capacity to it. You'll see bottom right says diesel 25,000 litres, and it has a crane with a crane traverse, so you can lift pallets, you can lift vehicles, you can do all sorts of stuff with that with the crane traverse, which comes in the pack as well. And then we've got the flatbed, which you can get small vehicles up. And I say small vehicles because when it's on the back of the vehicle and the ramps are down, the ramps are quite steep. So you're not going to get longer vehicles or bigger stuff on, but you might get some small bits, small tractors, that kind of stuff on there. So those are 3 things that come with it. And we've got the front bull bar, which has a winch on it. So here's the thing. This one is compatible with. So the other one works on 5th wheels. This one is compatible with the TLX Phoenix, the Max Superliner X, which I've got, and the TLX 9000 series. All of them version 1.2. So I came in, I've got my TLX, I've got my Phoenix. So I came along to my Phoenixes, brilliant stuff, clicked on my Phoenix and went through my options. I watched the video to show what I needed to do, and it said I needed a particular version of it. And I went through and I could not find it. I was I'm thinking, okay, I've done something wrong. And the thing is with these as well, there are so many options available. And I thought, have I clicked one option wrong somewhere? I went through all of these, going for all the different options. I didn't come up with the one it said. And I thought, okay, I don't know what to do. So I got so frustrated, okay, I'm going to have to stop. It turns out the updates yesterday, as I already read it out, and I said why the Superliner, the Max Superliner X was the important one. As it stands at the moment, it's only the Superliner X that's had the update. The TLX Phoenix hasn't, and the TLX 9000 hasn't had the update yet, because what I was looking for was this, which says Superliner X service frame. I was looking for the Phoenix service frame, and it's not there. So if I go through, we've got the TLX Phoenix aggro work, we've got this selection and that selection, but the service frame's not there. So if you're looking for the service frame in the Phoenix and possibly the TLX 9000, I don't think that update's released yet. But the Superliner X service frame is. That's the version you're going to need, because that's what it will hook up to. Now the Max Superliner, all the options of that are the same as the standard mod. This is not a mod review on the Superliner X, that's been out a while, but this service frame is the extra bit you're going to need. So that's the first thing. If we come down to our tools and we go to miscellaneous again and we scroll across till we get to here. So there's our Wreck-It bundle, where the service bed comes down from 6 to 1. The flatbed comes down from 4 to 1. The crane traverse, you're going to need, if you use the service bed with the crane, you're going to need the crane traverse. It doesn't cost you anything, so it's not that thing of, oh, we've got to have it, it's going to cost us money. It doesn't cost anything, you can buy it. So under the Wreck-It bundle, we've got all the various different special editions to match up with the various different TLX and Max Superliner options. Or if you have it standard, it doesn't have anything on it. We've got lighting, standard or side markers. We've got wrecker details, decals. So on the back, we've got some in there. Design 1, Design 2, Design 3, Design 4, puts them all on or all off. Then we've got emergency lights, standard or strobe, or not strobe, light bar. And then details. Now this again matches up with the main vehicle. So if you've gone for any of these options for your decals on the main vehicle, so we've got Houston 1, Seminole, standard. We can match those up if you want to. Decorative elements. I couldn't find the decorative elements. I think this is just standard for all three, because one of the other ones, yeah, has a decorative element, but that doesn't. Main color, again, anything on these palettes, so whatever you want to go for, whatever you're fancying. Design color, if you've gone for a particular stripe design or whatever you have, that gives that option, and that's that one. Service bed, again, all the various different options to match up with the vehicles. Lighting, lower, upper or both. Details, same thing. Decorative elements, this is where things change on this one. Design 1, Design 2, I couldn't see anything, and Design 3. Are they the same? Look the same to me. Same thing, main colour. For example, design colour if you've gone for a stripe on the side of it, but the second design colour is for the crane. So we can change the crane colour on there as well. The traverse, we can just pick a main colour to match up with whatever you want, or to be a different colour so it stands out. That's up to you. I do it as a brighter colour, so if you disconnect it somewhere, it drops into the grass, you can still find it. Darker colours are often a little bit harder to find. Then the flatbed itself, again, all the various different options to match up with your lorry. Lighting, standard or side markers. Emergency lights, light bar on top. Again with the stripes. Decorative elements, again, there's nothing under that. That was for the middle one. And then design colour will be, if you've gone for a stripe on it, it will do the design colour. So that's all of those. Oh, that was it. And also under weights, I didn't show you the weights, did I? That's the bull bar from the last one, and this is the one, the TLX HD front weight. So one's from the detachable towing unit, one's from the service pack. This one, lighting, main colour, anything on this palette. And then this one, we've got a few different options. So we've got trailer, so that'll attach onto anything that's got a trailer attachment, or a 3-point. So if you've got a 3-point on the front of your lorry already, you can attach it onto the 3-point, or back off again. Work lights, yes or no. Beacons, yes or no. Protective plate, bull bar, winch, again, depending whether you've got the expansion edition, and then change the main colour to anything on that palette. Like that. So with our special vehicle, Again, we hook the front up and we've got adjustment on that, so we can bring it forwards, backwards, up and down. So if you want it to look as if it's been bolted on the front, you just adjust it to the position you want it in. If you've got the Platinum Edition expansion, we have got the option on that for our winch. If we back up and hook up, so beacons on the back if you've gone for the light bar as well. We can open cabinets, so as you can see bottom right, this has got 10,000 litre capacity for fuel. If we open cabinets, now I found when I went to refuel this, or to fill it up, I had to have the cabinets open, like opening a cover. The cabinets had to be open. It's pretty cool though. So that's our 10,000 litres of fuel in that one. Then we switch over to, what do I want to go for? Right, that is the front weight. So I'm on the front weight at the moment. Again, this has got the option for our adjustment, but then I've got also the option for, see again on the front weight, for adjusting that weight on that depending on what I've got on the back. So depending on how heavy the thing you're towing, we can adjust that. And we go to the next one, unfold wheel lift. Then we've got our raising, lowering. Now this one we've got the whole raise and lower. Then we can just adjust that bit as well. So if we lower the whole thing down, we can get it more flat to the ground. Like that. And then we've got extension on that as well. Like that. And this works exactly the same as the other one with the detachable unit. We drive it up underneath the vehicle. The same instructions are there as well. You need to get into the other vehicle first, I think. I'm sure it says that. Yeah, it's mandatory to enter the vehicle to be towed first before activating the tension belts on the axle lift attachment. So this works in exactly the same way as the last one. Drive underneath, get it under the axle, make sure you've got into the other vehicle first, come out, then you can attach your tension straps. So our tension straps, you can see on there. Then we raise it, lower it, whatever we want to do. This one doesn't have that swivel attachment thing though. If I switch it again, oh well, maybe it does. Hang on, there you go. See, it's gone a bit. There you go, a bit floppy. That's to give you that swivel option. Now this doesn't. I'm sure this doesn't have a winch on the back. Those don't, do they? Nope. I think that's it. I hope I haven't missed something. I probably have. It happens. Bring it back in the end. So that's the wreck-it back. I think I might have increased the weight a little bit too much on the front there. So next we've got this. I've encountered an issue. So you can see I'm not all the way out from this. If I back up and hook up, brilliant stuff. This one's got a 25,000 litre capacity. We can open our cabinets on this. Open cover does that. So if you're using the crane, it does suggest that you make sure those are out, because once you get that extension of the crane out, any weight on that can cause an issue, so make sure you have those open. Let's close the cabinets. Now if I disconnect this again, let's close those. It wouldn't let me drive away underneath it. Look, keeps getting caught. Didn't matter what I did, it's like there's no tension straps on this, so I can't work out, I can't get out from underneath this one. It keeps dragging the surface bed with me. So again, something to be aware of. Got our lights, work lights on the back as well, which is pretty cool. Don't think we've got an option for, can we adjust those work lights? No, don't think so. Right, unfold crane. We've got our crane adjustment, side to side, up and down. We've got our in and out, and then we've got our up and down of this. So we get to our traverse, hook that up. Now the traverse can be folded up away like that, or unfolded. Nice sound effect on that as well. I think, can we rotate that? I don't know if we can. How far around does that go? Is it 360? Looks like it. Now what I was going to try, I'm sure I saw a picture of it, if you want to do some repair work, or I guess you could technically use it for towing as well. I don't know if you would want to use this for towing, but that seems to be free floating. I haven't got an option to rotate that. Oh, hang on, have I now? Oh, there we go, look, we can rotate it. Just about in the right setting, there we go, so we can rotate that. I need to put those... This is the same thing, it's just making sure we've got... you're pressing the right button, pressing triangle to go to each attachment to make sure on the correct attachment. And when you're learning to do this, you need to have that help window open at the top left. You just absolutely have to. Now, if I bring it down a little bit, pretty sure. There we go, look. So you can tow with this if you want to, but like I said, if you take that back section, if I close that cover now, it will do that. But I guess you could put one of those front weights in the front. If I load it down a little bit, it might be a little bit better. So we could. Oh no, that's not going to pull it, is it? Ah, so unlike the other one. I don't want to get in that one. Oh, I'm just like to say, the basic functions of this are the basic functions. This is just fiddling around really. But anyway, so yeah. That's your crane traverse. It can pick up vehicles. So if you wanted to pick up a seeder or something and load it onto a trailer, you could. That'd work. I don't think we can fold this with that attached. Let's go to that. There we go, detach that. Now we can fold the crane and put it away. Now this traverse I think we can pick up by hand as well. So I'm pretty sure if you haven't got anything in the back, you can just chuck it in the back again. Tension belts. That's interesting. Fasten tension belts. Anyway, so moving on. Sorry, I know it's just, that's the service bed. Right, so then it's onto the flatbed. Flatbed's a lot more straightforward. This has got fuel capacity as well. 10,000 litres. We can open the cabinets. Actually, I'm just thinking those options where it didn't show anything on the back of the vehicle for decorative, that could be inside the cabinets. It doesn't really show it when you're in the actual mod hub itself. We have tension straps on here, so pallets, bales, vehicles, anything you want to put in here that will strap down, you can strap down. If we switch to the back, unfold ramps, you'll see what I mean. Because of the height of it, they're quite steep. So you're not going to get bigger, longer vehicles up there because that transition from that to that. But shorter tractors, smaller things like gators and things like that, you shouldn't have a problem with. There's no option to adjust the width of these. They are fixed. Again, as far as I can tell, they're fixed. Fold ramps, tension straps off. Strobes if you've gone for, or beacons if you've gone for them. And that's that. I think that's it. Like I say again, apologies if I've missed any options on that, but my advice is 100%. You're going to need a front weight. Just that triangle button and have the help window open because that will help massively. And if you're looking for those other two vehicles, I'm pretty sure it's because they haven't had their updates yet. It's just the Max Superliner X that's available at the moment to put these onto. Very cool. The TLX Detachable Towing Unit and the TLX Service Pack by 82 Studio. That's it for the mods for Monday the 12th of June. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.